Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Islam is a complete way of life, guiding us in every aspect of our daily actions, from our speech to our behavior. Many of us strive to follow what is halal and avoid what is haram, believing that as long as we stay away from major sins like drinking alcohol, eating pork, or stealing, we are on the right path. But what if we are unknowingly engaging in actions that are actually prohibited in Islam? There are many things we do in our daily lives that may seem harmless, but are, in fact, forbidden according to Islamic teachings. These small, unnoticed actions can have serious consequences on our faith and our relationship with Allah. Without realizing it, we might be saying things that contain elements of shirk, delaying our prayers, or engaging in behaviors that Islam has clearly warned against. In this video, we will explore some of these common, yet often overlooked haram actions, so we can be more mindful and strive for a more righteous life. Let's begin. 1. Saying words that contain elements of shirk. Without realizing it, many of us say things that contain elements of shirk, such as, "If it weren't for this doctor, I would have died," or "Only money can save my life." In Islam, we must always remember that everything happens by the will of Allah. If we rely entirely on creation and forget Allah, this can be considered minor shirk, which is dangerous for our faith. 2. Praying for harm upon ourselves or others. Often in moments of anger or despair, people say things like, "I'd rather die," or "May you suffer for what you did." The Prophet taught us to always pray for goodness. We should be careful with our words because sometimes what we say might be accepted by Allah, leading to unintended consequences. 3. Intentionally skipping prayer. Many people think that missing prayers is just a minor sin. However, in Islam, deliberately skipping prayer without a valid reason is a major sin. In some narrations, abandoning prayer intentionally is considered an act that could lead someone out of Islam. 4. Listening to music that contains haram. Elements music is a big part of many people's lives, but we must be cautious because many songs contain lyrics that promote immorality, disrespect towards women, or even shirk. Listening to such songs can negatively affect our hearts and make us forget to remember Allah. Gossiping and slandering. Speaking badly about others behind their backs without a valid reason is a major sin in Islam. The Prophet, peace be upon him, compared gossiping to eating the flesh of one's dead brother. Similarly, spreading falsehoods to create conflict between people, slandering, is another dangerous act that must be avoided. 6. Lying, even as a joke. Many people think that telling lies is fine as long as it is meant to entertain others. However, in Islam, lying is strictly prohibited, even in jokes. The Prophet, peace be upon him, warned that those who lie just to make others laugh will face severe consequences in the hereafter. 7. Cheating in business transactions. For those who engage in business or trade, reducing the weight or quantity of goods while selling is a major sin that is often overlooked. Allah has warned in the Quran that those who cheat in measurements will face a painful punishment. Honesty in business is a fundamental principle in Islam. 8. Imitating non-Muslim religious practices. There are many customs that may seem harmless, but are actually prohibited if they involve imitating religious practices of non-Muslims. This includes celebrating non-Islamic religious holidays, participating in their rituals, or wearing religious symbols associated with other faiths. The Prophet said, "Whoever imitates a people is one of them." 9. Neglecting the rights of neighbors. Islam places great emphasis on good relationships with neighbors. However, many people forget their responsibilities towards them. Disturbing neighbors, ignoring their needs while we live in comfort, or failing to greet them properly are all actions that Islam discourages. The Prophet even said that a person is not a true believer if they let their neighbor go hungry while they have food. 10. Taking debt lightly and not paying it back. Debt is a serious matter in Islam. Many people borrow money without the intention of repaying it or delay payment, despite having the means to do so. The Prophet, peace be upon him, warned that a Muslim's soul could be held back in the hereafter until their debts are settled. Therefore, if we owe someone money, we must make every effort to pay it back as soon as possible. Conclusion. There are many things in daily life that we might consider ordinary, but are actually forbidden in Islam. From saying words of shirk to neglecting prayers and imitating non-Islamic traditions, all of these can be harmful to our faith. As Muslims, we must always strive to improve ourselves and stay away from all forms of sin, whether major or minor. What do you think? Were you surprised to learn about any of these? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. See you in the next video. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.